You see Auditor-General in the office no coin be na ye be fa so amana ye useful ya eno na ye be ka se e be bo o minus sika no ho ban enti ye fa MPP ento nchen enne ya na 2024 ye fa say NDC anya kwanya ma we ni power e na mo be ya ma office no se be ye useful say the Ghana for no.
Oh, once I said earlier, I am happy said there's a bill in Parliament. About my internal audit, I don't know. I operate in a way I didn't say and compromise it or more operations with institutions internally. One idea I buy with me and I say pass, I'll be so happy.
Okay.
And also, Auditor-General, sir, searches and disallowance continue. Tom level baby, at least o secure bibi kakra de back ana meboa. But we dey o kan kese ahwe anu akanti obi. We dey say ye pam obi na de ne ko obi adwuma pa oye no. Ene ye kofa another connection ma de ne buy. Say o dey o ya untimi nye ahwe. Ye be discuss ni ejai. Enti for now, if indeed ye see ye be ye ho adwuma, that is where we have to start from. And ade ba ko a emramu ya na nka eboa ne say and then Minia Bernard could be bonny. Ya punishing. Okom Remu, the essence will be a debonny near punishing. A dear back with the can be any deterrence. So we are the near punishing. Watch now, Eric J. whom the same thing. Me will fear. Because the Codiana Bernard quay ya punishing. If I go, the same thing will happen to me. But we are in the system. You hear Lydia what me we are do. What am I say? Let me say this on your platform. I'm a young person in politics. What dear, me TSCA, me party mrabem, na yama me dibi asamen some me mai. Na within 8 years and I say be at 12 years I be frabem. So untimi nya de papa bia wo krum a, okrum for community no kra be di watem. We oye kohwini chen obia, okọ politics, unse fie kra wansi bi. What I say? So even society no kra na ye fimi no. Omo enejaze for corruption.
Ehimfo na ayama sade na ka.
Ya na ayama na ka.
Politicians.
Politicians in free society no. Okoye churches are politicians are the leaders there. For how long do you see any of your pastors so jina podium so no preaching no the corruption related issue attached that no. Because as of corona no ma me no ya sorry penny obo corona na no. But so me so otuata 2 billion omusa baby onya free. What is a ma me corona invade tax? But I saw a margin nechi. I saw food in nechi.
It's the fact that society no. The mentality about momo
no. About here no. Yeah, free society no never. Yeah, free society no never. In a society na okwa anke ye say ni mo nyam ne de beba no. Ono no kope bibi society no. What am I say? They cannot. We are in a country. Obi edi bone aban twe na so no betina na nanu matutu ntuma say ye press conference. See a ye this year nechi. Mewa. E ho the Auditor-General anya say Auditor-General power de tia himfie ne de keka wa. Nkan say as issues problem. Ye betimi solve. So everywhere in our country there's a problem.
Examples to that effect about
I know one specific church. I know one specific church. Na omukobu nkontan. So for fam pumam ne sifo. So for wa boss or any defeat. But those matters will never come out. Church leaders and sit and judge near transfer so for meboa. Or transfer and I didn't call now the good house or no one or the car. And these are the very people any Moya manuals and the Oko MPP Emmanuel Kwimwa, Madam Food Minister, Deputy Minister of Education, one year Reverend. As of year politics, Nananum any or 1 year. And what I am saying is first mindset. You bet me as a sign mindset. And the 2 year regulations, and so I did regulate your system. No, so Yenshe Mukena. Nienya Pepase, we are all on board fighting a common enemy. That is all.
Bernard, my as a party man, oh, you're proud. 17.4 billion Ghana cedis.
17.4 billion Ghana cedis.
We are proud of it.
Okay, say proud of it. As in what sense?
Say, you say, because the defense baby no one, but even within the finance ministry, no, but even within the finance ministry, no. You know the yesterday last year by 12.8. This year I rise, I could do 17.4. We share in sema a woman. Skytrain, $3 million a year here. Or much as say, feasibility studies in Kwano, according to the Auditor-General, be say $2 million and e won call COVID fund and also so no be say over 200,000 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
And to see a kind of it has not been accounted for your move one conta obi ehunu ye. This and many others and na a woman lead to this 70.4 misappropriation no.
Me da say say menu
na Bernard mpacho hold on mama. Ma yentie we emra na ye nsanyi nkomo we.
Office because yenye very rich country. Sika kakra e se ebo ho ban. Na make sure say obia na ye de cedi ba kokra ma no no. Obe use sika ni ye. Se be no sa na all these rules as a declaration in the SEA enforce it. But we are interested in the fact that so surcharges no it has to be issued. In Tiano, you better document every single disallowance in the Auditor-General report from 2019 to now. And we are going to make sure, say, we want to see action taken up. Say, Sikani, I recover, let's document it. But you better accounting for every single recommendation and why in it. Anything that procedure is important. Into a surcharge we na oko retrieve is documented. What I say now when I say oh my say ebia order the record here and my say that there be it doesn't allow for good accountability. Into after the fact in America say oh and you recover is important but I see a document. But even no I see busa say then and I team recruiting for Ministry of Finance I muka obia system no does not flag it at any point in time. And if yanchu obia swan next time no would the person also do it again? Because your case recover you said you're more recover ebi a second mo ebia na mo say kokoye recover and as mo call pa corona what 2 years no some first scanning brana sometimes dream why I say public service na there obia ye the ope because people will not do that with their private companies. Anything that procedure is important.
You be a the ope, and a dear bedu baby a gene. Ora, who some no chichin comono, a koja sante, Oko CDD Ghana, or your director of advocacy and policy engagement. Now, him say, Yambo a Juada, or can civil society organizations are almost copycate, ako proteste ka krebi, Omukoche Attorney General, Auditor-General, and Bibika Krebi, a one office or. Ese tumina Ghana amamrade manono ofanye djuma na obia wafa kwan bi so ede sika bi edi djuma enya ne kwan so no e wo se sika no se onipa no betua ene de kan wo odi kan yi ano wo sha Auditor-General report no e ka se enipa miense finance ministry etua wo moka efiti January ed besi December 2021 omukọ hye nkrata mu no omonye djumefo e wo ministry ho Yera ye John Kuma yo ye swafa be de chire e wase ho no e be chem so sika nkra no o ma retrieve a wo mo saka sika no back na se bisa no se eno ano no ana wo sa so twe bi e koma nipa bi no mu a wo tu sika no e de kɔ ho no ma memra ha na Bernard metie de wo kataw na yenkoje enkratomra Ben metie o
so 17 point whatever million that a billion na ye ka ho asem no Auditor-General in Numa or yeah, for ministries, MMDAs, whatever, that's assemblies, and all year any ministries in your year editing, auditing, and now to me a barber cover or to arrive at such money. You see, but we are trying to a section of emphasize NDC for try mana best sound as if you say a sikapudua at that account. And I said, obi tro check your pijay no the share bag no the share na motor. That is not the case. Omo yama na look is but we need to talk to the general public. Ni mo hunu say. Sika ye ka ho asemi. Ye ka ye new Auditor-General or start ye bi wo ministries and oba assemblies. Now, ministries okay, e be a Ministry of Finance or Ministry of Education. Ya kase ye ba be painti ye dan. Ye dan ye ba be painti. Painting, ye nim say ministries na nkasa na ba be painting. We will outsource it to appropriate quarters and our people who are going to do the painting. Ye de ba mo wonom. Ye nim say o budget ay say ye de painti dan. Okay, ye painti dan na baby abubu ay say ye ho adwuma. Ye be ye ho adwuma. Auditor-General be hu say ya fasika e bia 10 million. you see the painted any the be adwuma no as a time or an audit no na adwuma no enye de enkwa wieye na mpanyimfo fa ho nkrata emfa megu nsaniani am yenhunu se anasa auditor general ne da pamfo ehunu se sika Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Education eka se wonom de ye mpuntudwuma ewo wonom office anasa wonom structure hono yentimi account for. That is how he or she will put it. Auditor General, son or the better. Esan say, sikana ye koyiye, Ghana for sika, taxpayers' money. I say, ye de bought a bra ministries one no, and I did painting ministries dying. Yentimin file receipts in the mind, and to him or to his books, no, a chase sika no, ayera, because yam fa a home nkrata eme redeemi.
Any accountable no.
Emfa mai, into ono be hunu se sika say emaye. Nti obisa se away. Now, it doesn't mean say the minister in charge of the ministry, you know, after Canada to the bottom. Then woman krata na emaye and the yemfa eme redeemi sika na yedo kwae. And no nanchen or beka se sika no emaye.
But Ben, the fact is say, udi sika di juma bi. Na won ni receipt, won ni krata to back it say, me di yewe no. O the one on beka. So be a ye way. But anyone my fan sika no afa baby.
You see, amamu enye ano ene de ye nkrata because remember Nana Danko Kufuado prior to general that is general election 2016
okay
or catch the Ghana for say MPP for ye tenase ye kruche ye nsam de egu nkrata so ne aba be catch the Ghana for ye manifesto no se Ghana for somua na wodom to abama ye ebredane social contract say ye tenase ne ye make sure say ye be executing what you say no a documenter ye ne Ghana for sign and Ghana for akwapam enti sama baba gisika me ministries na ma gisika say ye de kwakosie we a Auditor-General no buy no say won say ye throw petty cash say won say ye throw vouchers and ye de koyi sika na ye de say won say ye throw checks and ye koyi sika na ye de baba ye adwuma enti waba na oba be hwehwe nkrata mu no ye ntimi fa ya no ko kan so Auditor-General paint away o ma yam so painting a brush na bu and as say koto paint we na say but look there should be documented evidence that would use to buttress your argument. And no na enye ready. Auditor-General, me dey say me put am Auditor-General. I will say sikawi yenhu ye.
Ye ka say enye ready a. Enye ye fan say 2021. Enye the only year na say the first year Auditor-General ekoye bia hwehwemu ed report bia te say yaba. Enti enim say year on no. Bibi ete sa ekoso. Enti how come say yetimi tena ministry yetimi tra ye friend say assembly and another department na ye edisika dijuma without documents to back it say documents ye de ye we de bia ye betina say kasa asem we ye boapa ya na say because ye say charge international bia fa no de ye sa ne ma we ana
men kase ye boapa yo anasa men kase ye bibia sebio enkoso o man no ade a ekoso o man all right but oh she covid abrahu aye boy what you say na se wo hwe niema electricity any insua oman no through Nana Danko Kufuado e de boa ne mine for na sabi ni nyina I think is about 6 million or 6 billion a part of a Ghana Auditor-General e ka ho asem no enye we nko mesre ka wo mesre bisa say minister ana say assembly be and I say agency be baba be issue sika free the coffers of the agency or the assembly. Men sure say onom esu onom bo ekokoyi. There are rules and regulations. Onom ede ye nyuma. And I know say onom the ye adwuma. Nemmom say onom fa nye adwuma. The people who appointed them needs to check them. Because he can't the person who appointed the minister or whoever is sitting or whoever is controlling the affairs of the ministry or the agencies, you know. Until you best to twasere. Say the Naminia Erikiti Heke. 1992, the Ebum 1993, best who the same brofone or
ye who be do 2021.
Absolutely. Until the end ye yen yesu. And ye abai and your benting, and ye be before Ghana for ya yesu. Member to twasere say. Easy, me Casembi has oh mind be ya one kasana way. We need to know, say we have only one Ghana. We don't expect President Nana Danko Kufuado, the President of the Republic, So beba obetwe abana so okuta dua na odidi obi echi da bia. He has believed in you or believe in you or Judi when him say you can do it. No do akwa now. Yeah, metena me defend say we diska na we niska. And America no enema ni bi ho enye so obentia diska. Na the we diska no so no I think so they have the powers to prosecute. They can go ahead and prosecute the person. Na na do dan Kufuor do catch the Ghana for say. Or no. He's come to protect the public space. And indeed, that is what we are seeing. Meaning that you not say 1 minute person, we are protecting and we are going to protect it very well. Yes.
But Bernard Enna Otene Kano, my guest Emmanuel Wilson, or your chief crusader at the Crusaders Against Corruption, Babeka Mensa Ewoha, Mamenye Abwafon Kratwe Emra, na me mana kwaba na nkobodino yemfa ntoaso. Mame Simon Wakwaba, Emra Adom TV na Nnawotwi Dwumadie so. Utie ewo Asempa 94.7 na bema Akwaba. Na enkobodie ni yahyase ne sa. Ye betoa so. Ima Wilson Akwaba machenso.
Yeah, me do.
Sabu bia eboko ho.
Nyame adom, bibia eboko. It's just an opinion mo get me off guard. I think say that is the benefit of network and relationship. Yeah, yenua wala. Ana oye ne magic. Ano to me train me edu hanu.
Wala yedase.
But yeah, it's all good. Yeah, for God and country.
I'll
come.
Eti enkomo na yedie na nani nyina no. Wa ba die na Crusaders Against Corruption die. Na Jumide Ketasehye. Auditor-General enkomo na yedi. The reporter Odiaba 2021 36% increase as against 2020. Misappropriation and irregularities are a course so. A day now Becca, Eddie kind was a reporting.
Me that's a report in the better journal. Yeah, research department. Normally that's what we do. Yeah, go into it, analyze before we make any comment. Yeah, steady, you know. The first thing position I take here and say, I confirm Crusaders Against Corruption, your position I make here in March of this year. March of this year, you can say Ghana has lost the fight against corruption. Na you can na you engineer so. Emma you can say bibia ansesa na niema remaining as it is. 2021 Auditor-General's report ebeba beto Ghana. Ebeye worse than the 2020. The same thing after going through the report, and then you can the same thing say. It's a strong indication that Ghana will lose to the fight against corruption. Now, say, Niema remaining as it is. 2022 Auditor-General's report, and Yami Adom told next year, it be extremely worse and disappointing than what we have now. So, we share the chronology of the Auditor-General's report. Now, we share the way and manner in which you lose to the fight right from 2016. We share 2016 Auditor-General's report. Misappropriation, mismanagement, corruption amounted to 900 million Ghana cedis. 900 million. From 2016 to 2017. 2017 Auditor-General's report Betoja. It's shot from 900 million to 12 billion Ghana cedis.
But from 2016, the baby see maybe a year, you know, every year it shoots up.
It shoots up.
Every year it shoots up.
What we should know is it shows it is a clear indication say your system are you putting in place to fight and check corruption. Day in, day out, that system is becoming weak.
Yes, but in Tinosha, the issues are raising is and started from 2018 and started from 2017. Even the former president, by the father Crancy, John Mills, Nabreso, through to John Mahama, and now we are still having the same discussion.
The issue is say Oshe each year, especially under the late John Mills time now. I think about 2009, a year after, Ofa figure now compared to the previous one, the following year, the next year, I think 2011 also, issue 2 up. And yes, idea. Yebeka say a consistency a move every day, every year. But there are set some years checks and measures will become so strong, say it to me and normalize the figures. No? You understand? But this period from 2016, 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, we say consistently figures no stroke na echo. And no check clearly said there is something wrong with the system in which we are fighting. But you see, they be yeba out. Ni ababi discussing we discussing we are then we go and sit down. The following year na sing about him. Yeba be discussing we sit down. The following year na sing about him. Ni be discussing. The year they say we are approaching the fight against corruption like what we normally call fire service approach. You won't say ejani wo hon mo yeba be do ejano, but we don't go to the root of the matter. Until it becomes difficult for us to say ene Auditor-General's report about Betoja. Yen share how best. You bring a solution. The following year no, we won't get the same thing again. We find it difficult to talk about that. And when you say you discussing how best to get solutions to it, you be canon just like a talk shop. You can you program, you read the 2 months, 3 months, year on. We forget about it. Everyone goes to sleep, and then the system, as it is now, it repeats itself for the next year, and that is what is happening. It is so bizarre. Say, Ebeto Jano, what was your position? And I say you na. The Ebe can say you say a confirmation of your initial position. Say Ghana is speedily losing the fight against corruption in this country, and that is unfortunate.
So what are the figures now? In 2017, a hit best 12 billion.
Yes.
But 2018, a tiba form.
Good.
As low as 3 billion.
Exactly.
And at 2019, a call over 5 billion.
Exactly.
Into no, what share baby? What share at least? I'm gonna make some efforts in 2018.
Good.
And you knew the Akobaye, a moment sign at tiba form no.
Good.
Would you say the fact to say be a cost or increase? I've read something you read John Kuma Achro. Yeah, now or making reference to some changes be about, especially with the Ghana Revenue Authority, and it has best 4 billion irregularities near the at least no. We should report in my one no a sort less than 1 million Ghana cedis. Nature say so we should no report by report no. Now we come here now. There's been some shortfall. Mechanic say improvement to be our some areas.
Sectors. In fact, MMDCs, OSHA reports now, compared to the last year's reports now, there has been some improvement. Sure. Or MMDCs, the municipal department, there has been some improvement. But you see, it is just like robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Okay.
Into this department, and then there's a loophole in the other department. Into Okoya Naso by. You get what I mean? You can say 2020 Auditor-General's report, 12.8 billion. And I lose we couldn't account for it. But see the mechanic, compared 2020 to 2021, MMDC, there has been an improvement. Notwithstanding, other departments, the loophole is so strong, say, balance here, we have moved from 12.8 to 17.4 billion. We haven't done well in any way. We may say we've got an improvement here, but the fact say we get improvement now this side. You haven't done anything. You understand? And that is the problem we have in this country here. The problem is I am not so me start here, even though I know there are some departments that we did well, I wasn't bothered about it. Okay. Because as a country, we should move beyond the celebration of mediocrity. We should move beyond that. The fact said, also John Kumaba Beka say, oh, you're sector by sector, also for customs or whatever. We did some good there. Any other? If you see Kakrompa Auditor-General, they better just so much. You some 3 persons. Yes. That were finance minister. Yes. They have retrieved the money. That is one way of working and making sure say things are done properly. But you see, in retrieving that money, question that you see Bisa when say Auditor-General's report, Ambambe Tuja. Now you start to say would they have retrieved it? Isn't it so embarrassing? Say no mean a ministry than Ministry of Finance. Ghost name. I mean, can you imagine? And yet any other ministry, Ministry of Finance are almost economic planning. Apart from Auditor-General's and Auditor-General's department, Ministry of Finance has a supervisory role in all ministries. they make sure say sika ye de be ma ministry ni departments in ade no omo be bu hu account way before Auditor General beba out. Now say wa it is say o check those places no. You are engaging in payment of ghost names. The fact say you've retrieved it, for me and now for Crusaders, it shouldn't end there. You retrieve it, you know. A ban is saying a whole ministry. How many ministers? One minister, how many deputies? 2, 3 or so. We even have Minister of Finance in charge, Minister of State in charge of Finance, our presidency. And in that case, we have about 4 ministers or 5 ministers in charge of finance. And then ghost name can take place there. Any serious jurisdiction are committed to the fight against corruption. Just like someone said some years ago, heads must rule our ministry. And that should serve as a deterrent to the others.
You share the statement, John Kuma, Emeki, say, Omuhunu say, at least in ka Auditor-General report, no. Omayun say, Anyeshe, no. Omu meki recoveries be recommendations into report to no by no. Now, ye shame say, be a DAC, no. You make A, B, C, D recovery because possibility to be a BS, no, high. And you said the public perception about corruption, no, was so. And to know what is wrong with say be a Auditor-General, no, I bet you say area A, B, C, OSHA reporter about the previous year now. Changes when about a positive. What is wrong with all the but at least a bema will be able to say, Auditor-General Najumano. And to crobby the baby, I was so ye see. So the baby, one farmer more binya to crobby room can be from.
Then it took Crony say, per what you are saying, to Crony said, then say, in get Auditor-General, and my recommendations near the. And what recoveries are why I was look at the reports now. Not perception, what wanting at least correct. If you look at the reports now, recommendations were made. Our reports in almost all the abnormalities are identified in an or make a recommendation. And that is the norm. OSHA 2020 Auditor-General's report recommendations for and until Crusaders Against Corruption 2020 Auditor's report Ebetoja first advisor Yedema special prosecutor and say onjai all goose chaser or making in an uncover 2020 Auditor-General's report. So person fighting corruption offer sector by sector, department by department. Obey to me, pursue. What happened to it? Today, as we speak, we have so many anti-corruption institutions in this country, state institutions. Iyoku, Eyabako. Special Prosecutor, Eyabako. Auditor-General, Eyabako. Shraj, Eyabako. Even CID's department, Eyabako. And others. In fighting corruption, it is not just about Auditor-General. Indeed, Auditor-General, ne powers are ukite nyina, it is clothed in Section 51 of the Financial Administration Act, or Finance Administration Act. Surcharging and disallowing. Okay. Those are the powers he has. And if so be 40 special Auditor-General in anything, the only thing that you can say, I don't know invoke his section. Let us surcharge those individuals. Apart from that, Yembisa Yang say other corrupt anti-corruption institution, special prosecutor, Obaye, right from Martin Amidu time, basically the current one I will have. When have you heard say that office no? Akase, Yafa Bibi from Auditor-General's report, we are pursuing it. Look, corruption is a criminal case. Okay. It doesn't expire. Auditor-General, special prosecutor say if he's committed to the fight, he can go as far back as 2016. 2012 and all that and go and pick it. Would you to say Auditor-General Juma or report or the ban? Problem say would you to look, as long as it is a human organization, there's bound to have problem. You can never have 100%. And to the extent say jitum say kwan bia so no enye 100% no. That little problem now she say be no. Identity the image of some institutions and personalities. Yes, universities there abaya over 600 programs almost running. Yes. Almost so many accreditation. Yes. Yeni some education sakasa almost to say nanka Auditor-General was so yes specific because the fact say me running program A na ebia ewu year in 2019 yes. Na me kwadi re-accreditation and yes me running the program no without mini accreditation no. There is a problem. You see, I don't imagine, no, but also by a component late. Me pacho, you see, that is also the other problem. It is either say issue banning a person discussing who way forward now. Say a shena say amanyophone shena say embo moi. They quickly bring in politics, and then it takes away the main focus. The same way, say technocrats in who say then they will try and look for the loopholes. The question is this: Young Fampo say Auditor-General's report, and you're 100% accurate.
Okay.
Young Fan say 95 or 90% accurate. My interest is the 90% accurate, and not the other one. In any case,
but the
this
10%
issue
also goes against
in any case, these universities are say they don't have how do you call it, accreditation. If you study the Auditor-General's report, or specify say there are some of the courses it has expired, it hasn't been renewed.
Yes, we know.
Yes.
And the schools no report on new programs out. It be as far back as 2010. We are not agreeing
so then what is the issue? So if it hasn't been renewed and it has expired, technically, legally, it means that you don't have accreditation for that.
No. There are professors Omwakasa. JTech eko masama omo na yo mandate you know. Wuti enche mo omode ba ya omo office krompo even the personal omode omo yedwuma omo for free baby no omode ye.
Yes.
It is not a year the me fan say school no issue say na say bia effort to say omo koye they have applied. But e hono nya edwuma no so obenya. The fact say me year program me accredit and I say me dia bampa me nya ye no enche say me nya accreditation. Into the specifics no because a whole university say Ghana nationally you don't know image
me a driver me cry license I'm the driving say me license expire I don't have the right to drive no cry na
me too
no cry na you didn't come me a driver ene o stop me na me license ewua
you can't.
I can't.
Yes.
I don't have the right to drive. So, ocheme na me ka say, oh, my apply ba me do DV early hono. Almost say omu ni akadia ni adenti a delay wo hono mo. Does it still give me the right to drive? It doesn't. It doesn't. And you can come out with all the technicalities. The bottom line is there are some you have been accredited to do some things. At the end of the day, the reason why there's always a renewal is to ensure that there's standardization. Into the first time I accredit, it doesn't mean, I had to say, car, every year they just call for roadworthy renewal. The fact that I have been given a roadworthy certificate doesn't mean say the following year, it be a car for to be embound. Medical for it to be renewed. Your corner you're checking out for to be anyone. They'll renew it for me. So for one because they won't renew it for me. Okay. That is what it means. And look, my position is this, and I have heard a lot of people, even judges. Matikra say judges ababe kasi ana cars 19 cars ye onshen mo no omo de omo to baby na ye onshen no. If anyone has an issue, you should go and give it go and blame omo ye onshen no.
Are they wrong to say that?
They are wrong to say that.
Why?
Let me tell you why. Look, I'm a lawyer or I have a legal background. In the first year law, any first year law student, Okotina class, one of the mazins and now one of the principles I show, it's a Latin principle, caveat emptor. What do I say? Buyer beware. Say, it is the same principle which has been said. Unim said, "Sabi mi ko wia phone we na me beton ma. Na police for chimia. What talk stolen goods here becho." Do you know that?
Yeah.
It is based on that principle. You can't tell me say the judges who are the custodian of your law, they don't know this principle. Are you getting it? And so you can't come out and tell me say, oh, me baby, and I side. In fact, information I'm which has not been confirmed. They said this valuation cry, it didn't pass through STC.
Mate.
Are you getting it? And yes, people will want to come out and create all the issues near them, but you remaining focused. The focus is that there are abnormalities in our public sector. Okay. The focus is that we need to find a way of resolving it. The focus is that if any individual has been found culpable, that person shouldn't hide behind legality and technicality and say, oh, now you apply here, it has expired because it hasn't been renewed. It doesn't mean that we don't have a credit. If it hasn't been renewed, it has expired. It means you don't have the right to pursue that cause. Mate, that is what it means.
Medasima, Bernard Mamemra ho, ima shasi mo say, oma kanchum na the reports aba and is kabe to jan e confirm say Ghana elusu gradually no elusu the fight against corruption and some of Sanima way. No, what buying and also party and a what buying. Would you say Malusu fighting against corruption?
Mintimin gentum
I didn't hear.
Made you 2 more in your years and say, be a message for MPP, a manifesto no more. Na I'm a Ghana for who say, na nado dan koko for to catch the Ghana for say, or Bible book or mine person home bra. No can't say we, you know. Ghana for your 2 ababano no. Na pam for you once one won't be boom mine or catch the one say, so free say, wo buffer personal gains. Please, that is the door there you can exit. Now, or Babes strengthen institutions are they have the mandate to prosecute, they have mandate to investigate Bonnier for Niema Ebeko or mine so. You was special prosecutor, or by no and or Babette Sebu say or your or my penny or best socket as just wa. And come yes, me sure say or be establish OSP, the office of Manababe Juma. Ebie Obaye no was strengthen Iyoko fake. And na Auditor-General says me akwakobe no. We internal audit activities no so pa. Was also strengthen one more. Was show one more than say munye adwuma without any fear or favor. So obeye boni bi wa na mamu no mu a obe subject you to the appropriate courts. Se courts no ehwehwe won sem mu. Na wonom ka se ko hu ni kan bia obe san wa ye adwuma. Na mmom se ebo anase ebo wa sabi one son and kanchira was say because me a president of the land and intin I sabi wo ma ban mu no sambra be ye adwuma onso so yenhwe yenkwachi yenhwe yankasa ye nua senso boache tama na oye deputy chief of staff among for the nsem bebre to no so the man released asenso boache because say CID for to nsafre no kache ze menua ko meja wo de amom me investigative body. Me I'm your first gentleman of the land, and I hired you to come and support me. And as I say now, but I have no hand in it. And to call. I'm pass or CID for to two nano. Or no to two nano man, one bar on Tebeka say, Nihu ni Bonnie Biano. Papa na sans of finding in a year, Juma. Assuming Yan share OSP Numa o ye. Sep you, Yan Casaya Mame, Ella Bianca. Or ye MPP ni mapa. Wasum ne man, wasum party no. It is in kaye kan ke beka se. OSP nsemo o de ba abonten efa la bianca ho no. Enka na nado dan kwakufu ade you be a sebio also socket asese so a. Send OSP de ba na ko beka chen se. Ya mentua. Mia na me man a ena me di anim. Ghana for meka ho bi. Enti mentua. Oboa MPP enti mentua. Na momu anka ne sa. Mama me na kwa akotue sika no. But to Thierry and Yahoo Stema, sorry, what within the party, the attacks are echo OSP so. Listen, don't be surprised attack echo OSP so. Because you can say a cost answer no more. Make crack be a make us attack OSP wa. Because Sawa Bassa will baba be investigations. Our port activities are, and can we expect OSP to start from MPS, Meridian Port Service, and the NDC regime. One of the port, no, is it time on Mwabe sign Terminal 3. Ghana Port and Harbours Authority, they had the same strength. Some over 90-something million dollars in Mwabe build the port, no. But under NDC, one more Dodge Ghana Port and Harbours Authority, no one ma AP Mola Group, no. Danish for Abrofo, no de ma ono. 35 strong years, 35 years. Someone develop a port no na monfa tetemoka now the ya who a woman say a man having 80-something million dollars so one for develop a port no near sans one man till 85 million no I stand to be corrected right say for develop a port no for to niema bra for bibe duty no o man nye sika no na 85 million or the whole port no not the 35 years at teneca no no asanso man over $50 million tax exemption. It's now but ton mining my own man as more tax exemption. What's actually 50-something million? It's all expected to na one OSP the question. We're expecting him. Yeah, say, yeah, for so. No mom, Carl Wilson, almighty Carl Wilson issue. Is it na make us ye komo? Enunti. And I make sure said another for also sort sa bonnie for some so. And a near my course all Bianca Mamu so no crampono. And ya dear mamma no cast won't you duty. She genuinely applied to Ghana Revenue Authority. Sabi me tie me near mammy and Sabanas all the 100 now, but every week she pays over 7 million Ghana cedis revenue to the state. Me and me tree be 40,000. You have upper hand. What I say, you can apply. Say, oh, me per se say due to ABC. Workforce had also say me ABC. Me stress and come with me at the and genuinely she did that. And to me, who no bonny be a man in a year. But the young fan don't touch it. What I say now, say OSP, Abba. That's what me. Nana do danko kufa na kanches. We a council of state member in Tibentua. It tells you say the man is pursuing the agenda as he said. It's how is it reflecting? And the ordinary Ghanaian who say the fight, offices are my established and they how mobua push your more fund your mono yield the results. Are we witnessing that? Me say yeah me better videos na me Ghana focus. I am person me can your local language ne maame na ono te ekwan ho na auto money na ye tete the tax 11 cedi no ye de bo oman no me pese me kasa na ono te ase enti senka me kasa ye kono me sabio ye won panifo no be kan million percentage blah 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 me maame na ote kwan ho no te ase ono so no beto exactly eno na ye kasa wo MDAs na what ne ye nyina te yam say ya kasa Numa Nana Danko Kufuado, why strengthen woman? Through that, over 900 million cedis. Let me reduce from 2020, your friend say, Auditor-General report a cow, a cow or casse, young fanny or castle no Mariano, yet me at so, sir. Yes, young fanny say, said your Mariano, yet me at so, it tells you, say, Sebi was 20 a month for. Emma senka one strengthener and kasa 900 million binswa nke biso asan akosoro aba beka ho so it tell clear indication ehu aba be sha manfo no said ye ka da bia no enya abofo ne ne wonum ye adwuma nipa da sane ne enum ye adwuma enti eye den a echema bi beto baabi na menu apanyini ka say the court judges ne de no so no ka about say you being a first year law student Krampo, no they tell you to there's a concept or there's a clear chapter or whatever that tells you say you need to be a buyer need to be very careful. I agree with him, but if you apply that with the law judges and more auction sales now, it doesn't work. Why am I saying so? Very well. When you show the judges no. One, omumbi a auctioneer. Auctioneers, emra ebo wonum ho ban. Two, yina all can it applies a sebio mum fi hanum say. Multimedia baby at TCCA. Mon ton banche. You deliver services to people. Mon ton banche. Na say yeti henia se hu se will be the banche kikiri go bottom no dia ba. Na say ya yeti he obi to anase multimedia staff obi to a emra no eno na menu apanyini ka I will understand because you the buyer na wo to star bank no aha na ode abesi so ton bank we nim say yen ton bank wo ha okay na wo be to star bank no anase wo say kwabena ne the TVC ne kon ho na ode nam kwan ho na say wo hia no obo ma wo air phone no wato a na say ye che na wo yetimi chew. But here is the case auctioneer na auction ye e no so kotoye se me ameti hey if I had opportunity say kameso betimi akwa koto an kameso metobi what you say we auctioneer and the auction no motoye and yes some no kugina auctioneer no say hey auction farmer dabi and I say for right processes mu na abedu say wato a through auction na the enti na was say Auditor-General report indict say a process no company so mo reverse very well that's fine or say process no menya sure say judges no judges na orchestrated process but as a judge na what for process mu a enye fair enye the right process a procure dia what I don't think enye fair no ehefa na enye fair no sika no otua na enye at the required amount ana okotua Ghana Revenue Authority no na enye fair na ana was just were they supposed to pay at Ministry of Finance ana These are some of the questions that we need to ask.
If you Auditor-General recommend say you go back to the process no. Not just say BB there's something
process a hand for because it's as a long of chain.
Yes,
process a hand for.
Into almost back coach mu a maybe this report is Auditor-General na be to so na man ye be hunu.
One say Auditor-General so it otimi specific.
Okay.
Say bia car ye ton ma wono. Na duty entry duty wo so. Car no duty na be 100,000. By a ton car na more 300,000. So Auditor-General was expecting say say you tria sika be cover duty no. Na kakra na be to so na ba be state in there because the car is used. Okay. See, you're a brand new entry duty. ABA na bind the entry duty. Na say auction amawa. Wa wo ba be fan is ya wo nya ban. We individual. So therefore, we need to get the revenue na nka say abinding free individual. Sir.
Sana the auction amount no so be tia.
That is one thing na ABA na office amba. ABA. What you say? Now AB so declaration na ye bo edi yi car na ma auditor edi yi car na ma ban na judges no ya auction amba mo no ebia the regime I the board declaration no enye papa.
Okay.
Ebi so said the AK say SCC am value and pass it through SCC. Me nye sure say SCC nkwa na values wo my way mo. What you say? I stand to be corrected. Say ebia am pass it all through those appropriate courtesies in there. That is fine. And okasa but the fact is say auctioneer auction car e dey ma judge na atono sabi untumi nka say e wrong
Mate Bernard mame nye enkrato na wosen mame nkomra na wa respond to Nedie no Adom TV na wo hye no asempa 94.7 utie yen e wo ho na wo twi dwumadie ene ye de bro medin e de abena poko a ahwennie ye twa ye homra sisia Mame mo akwa babiem na me na ase esoguso eka me ho ewo na watwi dwumadie so ye mo ye nkobo ne telltale san se bebre na ka ho no me wose ye de ma ho ansa ne yasore wo se mame mra ho be na de kasa na person respond to
mame and corrected some few things be the edikai the mazima me mention in law no it is a general mazim. It's not limited to obia onam kwan ho to ade. No, it's a general maxim as long as trade transaction agreement is concerned. Indeed, so all shares crowd a company be crampua. The as long as there's an agreement, there's a burden on you, our shares in that company, to do a due diligence of that company. Are you getting it? It does not exempt whether engineer is part or engineers are not part. In any case, which people even interpret the laws that governs engineering activities, isn't it the judiciary? Are you getting it? Now I'm talking about, so that one is there. The second thing, I can say, Ghana is speedily losing the fight against corruption. Let me give you empirical record. Let me show me phone so send come a soft copy. We have a report, Crusaders Against Corruption, which identifies the number of anti-corruption policies. This government, MAK said they were going to do or implement. Okay. In fact, this I'll protect the public personality. And those were rhetorics. Those were not part of the. Really? Yeah, kind of saying. It wasn't part of the manifesto. It's nowhere in your manifesto. Manifesto, no, it had 17 clear anti-corruption policies. 17. Unfortunately, because I don't have it here, no, we won't go through it. But among the 17, it's only one that this government has fulfilled, right from 2016 to 2022. Just count the number of years, or 2017 to 2022. Back part of the 17, and that is the establishment of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Okay. Aside that, 16, none has been implemented. And if we are talking about commitment to the fight... then we will know. But I just told you, sir, look, and we don't want to go over the circumstances that rush me here. I would have come with that document. You are saying 17, and they were able to establish only one. Which is the office of the... So tell her the 16. But as someone make you didn't get what I said.
No.
Say, I don't have the document here.
So therefore, you don't talk about it because.
What do you mean by don't talk about it? No, please. Buy a NDC MPP thing
no, that's
here,
not
please.
But you are claiming,
It's not about claiming. This is a public notice. Don't you have your manifesto?
No, you are claiming.
No, it's a public document. Don't you have your manifesto? Unless you haven't gone through your manifesto.
No, you are claiming.
It's not about claiming. I'm referring. I gave a source. Me say this. Your manifesto.
And you've been able to mention one.
Oh, please. Please. The second thing that suggests clearly said this government, under this government, we've lost the fight against corruption. The rhetorics of make here, I'll protect the public purse and all those things. I'll use the ANAS principle, even giving a warning, say, if you want to amass wealth, don't come into my government, go into a private sector. Those were all rhetorics. They weren't in the document. Look, one typical example of corruption is nepotism. It's an example of corruption. In this Fourth Republic, it is established, say the most corrupt government in terms of nepotism is this government.
But is this government the first government or practice nepotism?
Listen, I said the most. I added.
Do we have
when I said most, I am making reference to. I'm making reference to the quantum,
so the
number. What I am saying is, so what? You see, the points I am making, you are not getting. You don't have the list of nepotistic appointments in this government. You don't have it. So of course, this is the list. You compare the list.
Assessment.
Of course, comparing it to previous appointments or previous governments. That is what we do. It is comparison. But that is not even the point. The point is that, you see, he who comes to equity must come with a clean hand. When you establish a government and the foundation is an example of corruption, it becomes difficult for you to be bold to say you are fighting corruption. It would be a fantastic question when we went into a kind of saying break. Why is it that 2018, it came down, the figures came down? Even 2019, reasonably, it was down, even though it was a little above 2018. And then right from 2019, issue 2 years skyrocketed, and we've lost it looks like we've lost the control over it. 12.8, 17.4, and I'm saying, say, 2022 will even be worse than this if all things remains the same. And can't it be, among other things, can't it be, say, it is because the leader who in 2018, 2019, created that environment, say he's in to really protect the public purse and to fight corruption. You know. He lost it or he relaxed at a point. Into appointees and other institutions and the rest, they also had a field day.
Okay,
can that be a principle, a reason on that? But having said that, also we have just some few minutes, meaning whether I should go into the solutions because that is what we are interested in as Crusaders.
2 minutes, ma'am, solutions.
No problem. Now, in any jurisdiction, if you want to fight corruption, when you have a centralized power in any jurisdiction, it's difficult to fight corruption. The first thing I say, in fighting corruption is to decentralize power. Okay? Now, the 1992 Constitution that we have, it is the bedrock of corruption that produces corruption in this country. And that is why over the past, His Excellency Kufuor's time, all the way, Obiaba, corruption is an issue. To the extent that Kufuor at a point made a comment say corruption is as old as Adam and all that. Atta Mills, Rawlings, Obiaba, there's an issue. Okay. It is the fundamental which has to do with the 92 Constitution. The powers that has been given or entrusted in the hands of one arm of government, being the executive. Okay. Too much. Look, we are talking about anti-corruption institutions. Who appoints special prosecutor? Who appoints attorney generals and minister of justice? Who appoints IOCO's boss? Who appoints CID's boss? And all that. They are all appointed from one arm of government. They owe allegiance to that. We were talking, my brother was talking about Asenso the other day. It wasn't just Asenso. In fact, there was a petition against 2 people, Asenso and then the other colleague, Abu. The one who petitioned, one gentleman called A+. Then the CID department, which is an example of anti-corruption institution in this country, was headed by Madam Tiwa. Audio came up, which could not be denied, where Madam Tiwa, who was heading it, the investigation, was telling the petitioner or the complainant, say, case we cry, case, because if we pursue it, it will dent the image of the nation. The problem is that
not to say more suggest an amendment.
Strongly, we should go back to the 1992. Fortunately, 2011, there was an initiation by the late Atta Mills. We came out with a Constitutional Review Commission. Reports. Why is it that from 2011 I submitted our reports and we've had 2 governments? The former president.
We came out, were you part of it?
Oh, no, Ghana as a general. I mean, when it came out, we've had 2 different governments. Fortunately, the first government are taking over from Atta Mills. Hey, Onwani party. Why is it that they didn't make mention of it or go back to it? We've had an entirely new government. 6 years on. Why is it that the government is not going back to that? It is just because the typical politician doesn't want powers or enjoying to be taken away.
Okay.
And that is the problem. The second thing, maybe just the second thing, there are about 2 or 3. But the second thing is that, look, in as much as you say we should go back to the Constitutional Review Commission's report, now you review your constitution. What we should do is say, create an environment so that as much as practicable, the anti-corruption institutions in Ghana, they will do their work independent of being influenced by any hand.
With the 1 minute.
1 minute. Where need to? Said you can,
okay, producer said 2 minutes.
Said you can in MPP. Yeah, I say you will protect the public purse. It doesn't mean say any abofo na eba be yadwuma, any nipa na eba yadwuma. Yeah, launch a campaign and it cut across. If you see something, say something. What you say, and yeah, for the security aspect of it. If you see something, say something. Inti ye boa ye nyina ye ho ne be to trust Ghana for say. Sabi men tena ho nkasa Auditor-General nko a. Sabi men nkasa president nko a. Men nkasa minister nko a.
But I see something say sound say risky pa.
Very risky, but
Enra ya obi akokun obi na obi okogbo amane watete na akokun police phone to me anche na na akokun di okogbo amane no. Sa
edin na omo bobo no de mo mfa ntoncha because on bodi na omo de fa ba bi enye.
Edin de wen ya.
Yenko yanim. So what I say enti e betoto ahre say.
Okay.
Ghana ba akope. Omo yemboa na Nado Danko Akufo-Addo one Dr. Mahmoud ba omia. Kakra wo betimi aye. It borders on national security. And the security is a shared responsibility. And you better trust me ba. Me wado phobia so a sabio. You know about me be lampon or Takrade Gasam estate. And no odini birthday. Me nua ohwe mo pa chi yembo yenda na ase.
Me da say.
Na ye wo obaya rules so ono so ajenga no he ya.
Oh okay. Na wa cheche busuani nyina.
And your birthday, so let me just wish her a happy birthday.
Oh, and
that's all.
Yeah, wishing
menko feda.
Oh, so boni na
mama wishing him.
Me boni din.
Mama wishing him. The special one in the life of this special gentleman here, Mr. Wilson, who is fighting corruption on behalf of you, myself, and Mrs. Wilson. We sit here on this great platform and then we say a very big happy birthday to you. And then Mr. Wilson is leaving the premises of Multimedia Home. Please, with all due respect, monitor him. As soon as he gets home, please, you do the needful. Happy birthday, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you. Now, Mr. Sachi, video about Sally. And now, your baby girl, no. That's it. You know, see what ha. It never just so. And I've been out for Koa, I near. And I'll pay what's in your Bernard or Dronyakon.
Ebimu ya bumio. Ose me ko bana. No baby am no mataya.
Chia wa ataya say fine.
Wallahi. And to donor.
Okay.
And in the bush of wallahi. Ataya
me. But I say my own so Crusaders Against Corruption ebe come inside if you pay nyina ko East Legon. The former chief of staff Julius Debra ni nua bema Cambodia eye ne ho na ekoso etikan ho KPN nyina ye kokwakudu masa ne abusua ni nyina ekosia mu ho yada wase ama moni hye enitie anopai